Hello everyone, it's Debbie again, and I had talked about making this, giving a tutorial on making this headband. So I had a little bit of time today, so I'm going to work on showing y'all how I made this and exactly what I did to get it done. So it's a very simple pattern, and it's something I just kind of created myself. So what I did was I measured my head and came up with how long I thought it should be. Now this one came out a little bit looser than I wanted it to be. So remember that your yarn's gonna kind of stretch. So what I did before I started the video was I went ahead and measured my head, and then I made a chain. I went ahead and just made my chain. That way I don't have to do that on camera. And I made a chain of 80. I'm also using a 5mm hook. It's a boy 5mm hook, H. So, and that will depend on the size of your chain too. So I would measure your head and come up with how long you want it, and make it just a little bit shorter so that it would be tighter, unless you like yours looser, and then you could just leave it the length that you come up with when you measure your head. And today I'm going to be using this Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel in the Peach Orchard Paradise colorway. It is a 100% acrylic. They recommend a 5.5mm hook, and it's 355 yards. So that's the same colorway that I used when I made this one. So there's a lot left. there's a whole lot left. It didn't even touch into the colors. So that's what I'm using today. So I did this in half double crochets. Make sure sorry, almost knocked y'all down there. So we're going to skip the first two chains on the hook. So 1, 2, and we're going to start right here in this, wait, let me get it right. Okay, can you see this? It's 1, 2, so this is the third chain from the hook, and that's the one we're going to start in. So we're doing half double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go through the loop, yarn over and pull through, and you're going to have 3 loops on your hook. So you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook, and so you'll have 1 left when you're done. So so that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do that all the way across. So you're going to yarn over. I'll do a few of them kind of slow for y'all to see. Pull through, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So we're just going to do that all the way across to the end. I'm gonna just kind of I'm not gonna do the whole headband because it would take me too long, and I don't think I can pause a video, because if I could pause it, I would pause it and finish the row. I have to learn how to do all those techie things, and I don't know if you can do that with your phone. But we're gonna do half double crochets. Get me a little bit more yarn here, all the way across to the end of the chain, and then when we get to the other end, we'll discuss what to do there. So yarn over, go into the loop, and come out, and then we're going to go through all 3 loops on the hook. So we're going to do that all the way to the end. Very simple pattern. Very simple design. It's nothing fancy or anything. It was just something I was playing around with and decided that I wanted to try and make something without following someone's pattern, and so that's where I ended up making this. But we're just going to do half double crochets all the way to the end of our chain. I thought it was kind of fun, trying to make up something on my own without having to follow someone's pattern. So that's what I that's what I tried out, and it worked. I mean, it's nothing fancy, but it was worth a try anyway. So I have another tutorial that I'm going to come out with soon. As soon as I get it together, I made some little pink booties for my granddaughter, and I'll be making a tutorial on that as soon as I get that all together. They came out really, really cute. I wish I could show them to y'all, but they're not here right now. So I did a chain of 80, and I measured my chain. It's a little bit shorter than what I measured my head. My head measured 21 where I wanted the band to sit. And I think this measured 19. So, and that depends on your gauge when you do your chains, because everybody's a little different. So just kind of measure it around your head, and but that gives you an idea of where I went. I went into a chain of 80, and since we skipped those first two chains, we're gonna have 78 double crochets across. So make sure you count. You'll have 78. Make sure you don't miss any stitches, because then you'll have big holes in your headband. But get me some more yarn here. So, but that's what we're just gonna do. It's very, very simple to make. And if you wanted it, like I only did like 4 rows on this one. 4 or 5 rows. So, I mean, if you wanted it a little wider, you could do a little wider. If you wanted it a little more narrow, you could just do, 3 or 4 rows. And it's kind of what you want, You can play with it. Try it on, put it on your head, see if you like the width of it, and if not, add more or subtract. It's kind of a personal preference on that. But we're just going to sit here and we're going to do half double crochets all the way to the end of the chain. Get a little more yarn here. We're getting there. We're getting there. I wish I knew how to pause the video and do all that so that I could just not have to sit here and do each stitch. But it's good practice. I mean, you can practice your half double crochets. We practiced the single crochets making that towel the other day, that dishcloth the other day. So this is a good little practice for your half double crochets. So we're going to do that all the way down to the end, and I have to get to the end to be able to show y'all what to do. We're getting there. But yeah, those booties were really fun to make. I was having a really good time figuring out. I just kind of watched someone's video on what they did, and then I just kind of went from there and came up with my own ideas of what I wanted to do. And I wanted to put some little flowers on them, but I haven't gotten a chance to do that. And she was wearing them, and I was looking for someone's pattern on a flower, but they were all seeming a little bit big for some little 10-month-old booty, so I didn't find anything small enough. So maybe I'll work something out myself, or take someone's pattern and make it into a little bit smaller. But since it'll be someone else's pattern, I won't be able to do a tutorial on it. But y'all can, if y'all would want to do the booties and then find your own pattern for a flower or whatever, y'all can do that. Because without permission, I really can't do a tutorial on someone else's flower. So, but yeah, they were cute little booties. They fit really well. It took me a while to get them to fit right, but I got them. And I got kind of what the idea of what I did, and then I got to kind of remember some other parts. So I'm gonna have to probably make another pair to try and get it written down so that I can remember what I did. But
hey, you can't go in there.
They're very, very easy to do.
Hey, I just said you can't go over there. You can't talk to G.
So, yeah, we're almost to the end, and then we're going to
Get away from G.
do something a little bit different with our next row. And it gives it a little bit of texture
I'm gonna turn it off.
on the headband. So, just about finished. Been a bit of a crazy week around here. Grandkids have been sick and not feeling well and crying a lot and needing a lot of attention, so we've been a little busy at the house, but they're finally getting just better. So okay, so we're there. We got a whole row of half double crochets. So after you do that, you're going to want to chain 2. So we're going to chain 2. Oops, wrong way. 1, 2. And then we're going to turn our work, and we're going to come around the other side. So what we're going to do this time with our half double crochets, my yarn is always seeming to be in the way, is we're going to go into the back loop only. And what that's going to do, show you on this one, it's going to give it that raised edge there. Oops, sorry, showing you on the wrong place. So it's going to give it this raised edge, so it gives it a little bit of texture in your, and it's not just a flat crochet. It's got a little bit of a raised edge there, if you can see that. So that's what that's going to do to it. And so the next row, we're just going to go ahead, and what we're going to do is you look at the top. My fingers are in the way. Okay, you're going to look at the top of your stitch right here, and you can see the 2 loops. There's one here and there's one back on this side. So we're going to go into this back one only. We're not going to go into this front one here. So you're going to go in, get some yarn here. So you're going to go in from the top of the stitch. So we're going to yarn over. We're still doing our half double crochets, and we're going to go right here into that back loop. Get the yarn out the way so y'all can see that. My yarn seems to be always in the way. So we're going to just go into that back loop, and we're going to yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and go through all 3 of the loops. And so it gives it that, instead of a flat edge, we have that little bit of a texture to it. So, and we're going to do this all the way across. So yarn over and go through 3 loops. So don't forget, we're going through that back loop only, and then we're going to come through all 3. And you're going to do that all the way across. And I really like the way that looked on the headband there. It gave it a little texture, and not just, you know, plain old flat stitches. But what I did was I did one row of regular, and then one row of through the back loop only. So sorry, trying to make sure I stay in the camera. So back loop, gonna yarn over and pull through. And if you get that first row done and you try it on your head and make sure it kind of fits,
Talk to G afterwards, all right? Because
so
I don't think you're gonna be able to go. You still stick. You gotta stay in the house.
back loop only.
You are, buddy. Listen to your nose. You can hear it in your voice.
So um, so in that back loop, and try and oops, I think I kind of split my yarn right there.
Huh?
Okay, so we're going to go all the way across, doing in the back loop only, half double crochets, the same stitch.
Huh? Different meaning.
Hoping y'all can see this really good. I'll put my yarn over here, it'd be a little easier.
Get away from Sheba.
Okay, back loop. I'm going to stay doing the back loop only all the way across for our same 78 stitches that we did across before. Now my yarn's wrapped around my finger a little crazy. I'm hoping I'm staying in the view so you could see it. I think my fingers are in the way here. So, back loop. Back loop. And we're just going to do the same stitch. Oops. All the way across to the other end.
What I tell you to do? Right side. Gotta be side to shape. Put it down. Push down. Drop it. Come up here. Now drop it. Now pull this side. Pull
So,
that corner up.
yeah,
There. Drop it.
I know
Pull this one.
this is taking some time, but it's the only way I know how to do this until I get a little bit better at doing this and learning some of the techie part of doing the computer and being able to pause the video. I haven't figured that out, or adding two videos together so that I don't have to sit here and do the whole thing. So I know this can probably be a little monotonous here. But you can always fast forward to the next part and try to just watch the parts you need to watch. You don't have to sit and watch the whole video if you don't need to. Fast forward to the end, pause when you need to pause, and that way you're not just sitting here watching me do the whole thing. Just, give me a thumbs up and a share and a like and everything else. So maybe someone else who's wanting to learn how to do something simple and learn how to make a headband, a simple headband, something that they can learn how to do when they're just starting out. and just learning how to crochet, they can start with this. And like I said, with the dishcloth, you know, you can feel like you've accomplished something, you've made something, and you know, you can actually wear it and say, hey, I made this myself. Over, you know, it's simple, but it does what I wanted to do, and I like the way it turned out, you know, and you can just spend your time doing that. So anyway, we're almost to the end here, and then I'm going to explain what I did. And need some more yarn. So like I said, we're doing all these stitches all the way across, whoops, in the back loop only. And I will show you in a minute what it looks like. No, I'm still not really fast at this. I watched somebody's video the other day, and she was like going so fast. I'm like, whoa, slow down. You know, I mean, people who's trying to learn, we're not gonna be able to watch her and learn because she was just going so fast. I'm like, I'm still new at this. She made a cute little hat though, little headband thing. So we're almost to the end here. Sorry if I'm out of the camera view. I'm trying to make sure I stay in there because I've learned I can't watch through the camera and crochet because I mess up too much. So I'm hoping that I don't have to throw this video out and do it all over again. That I'm in the view of the camera. No, my fingers seem to be in the way every once in a while. Okay, so one more stitch. Okay, so if you can see right here, this is that front stitch that we skipped. See, and we went into that back stitch. So it gives it a little bit of a lip there. And it's not just flat. So this is what I did. I did this first row double crochet, half double crochet, and then I did the second row into that back loop only. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna chain 2, and then you would turn your work, and the next row I did it into both loops. So from like you would normally do your double crochets, I mean half doubles, sorry. So you're gonna yarn over and just go into both loops. Oops, we skipped a stitch here. Both loops. And so you're gonna go across and you do that, okay? So after you do this, and like I said, you can make it 4 or 5 rows, how many ever rows you want to make. But I'm gonna just go ahead and stop here and show y'all how I finished it off. So you're gonna take your starting edge and put it inside out to the wrong side of the stitch, and from here you're going to go into here, and you're going to stitch it together. So you're going to go through, and you're going to do a slip stitch. So you're going to yarn over and pull through both pieces, both edges, and something looks weird right there. Okay. And go through there. So then you're going to go through, and this is at the end when you've gotten them all as wide as you want it to be, as many rows as you want. So you're going to go in, oops, not right there, here. You're going to yarn over and pull through all three. I'm tying it a little crooked here. Let me try that again. Okay, so you want to go through there and through there. You yarn over and come through here. Stuck. And go through all three pieces. Then you're going to go through here and here. Well, and you're going to yarn over and come through. Oops, lost that. All right, fix that. Kind of lost my yarn there. So we're gonna go through that and through there. And so you would do that all the way across to the bottom so you could tie it together. Okay. It's kind of hard to get in those sides of those stitches like that once in a while. So, and then you would do that, and that's going to tie your ends together. So you have that, and that's going to be, this is going to be your inside. So you want to tie it together on the inside, and that would tie your edge together. And you can always just put that in the back under your head where no one can see that tied in. Like I said, you make it as many rows as wide as you want or as narrow as you want. And you can make it in any color you want. This is, like I said, 100% acrylic. It's a Yarn Bee sugar wheel, so I mean, you can use anything you want. I mean, this has a lot of nice colors on the inside, but with the headband, I mean, you could always start on this inside color, or or even just cut all this off and use the color you wanted, because it's so small that it doesn't really get into a whole lot of these colors. But that's what I did, and that's how I made this, and I really like the way it came out. So I just thought I would share it with everyone, and if you like it, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you make it down in the comments below. Like I said, it's a good little starter project for someone just starting out learning their stitches, and it's a good little practice for your double crochets and then working in that back loop only. So yeah, that's what I did. It was simple, it was easy, and I hope y'all decide to make it, and I hope it gives y'all a little bit of practice, and let me know what happens and how it comes out. Thanks, y'all have a great day.